Hello and welcome to this videocast for subscribers to davidicke.com. Now I've been writing in the books for a long time now about what I call the inversion, how the world and human society is inverted. Not just a little bit inverted here and there, but inverted almost wherever you look. Not just in the sense of inverted from what it should be and what the world would be nicer for if it was the other way around, but inverted in the sense that almost everything you look at in human society is on its head. And I had a couple of stories on the website this week, which if you put them together and put it together with lots of other stuff I'm going to talk about, then the fact that the world is not only inverted but systematically inverted through cold calculation for reasons of human control becomes perfectly bloody obvious. One of them was about sunglasses. Sunglasses? What's that got to do with it? Well, actually quite a lot. Because it is a gateway into a lot of inversion. It was being pointed out in one of the stories that wearing sunglasses in anything like regular use is not good for health. Why? Because we are receiving information, energy, from the sun all the time. And one way that we use that information, and it's vital to not just what we call physical function, what I would call holographic function, but actually mental and emotional function as well. And it's the way that the pineal gland in the brain receives this information from the sun in the form of what we call light, and then transforms it into different electrochemical forms, which is then communicated through the body and is fundamental. You cannot stress enough, fundamental to human health. So people who wear sunglasses all the time whenever the sun comes out are denying the pineal gland that source of information, because the pineal gland thinks, well, it's nighttime, there's no light, and so it acts and functions as if that's the case. And this takes me through to something else about inversion, and that is the way we are told, in effect now, to fear the sun and to fear cholesterol. And these are two classic inversions, as I will explain. First of all, we need the sun for enough vitamin D. And without vitamin D, we get a big list of health effects, not just health effects, but mental effects. Let me just give you an idea of what happens if we are deficient in vitamin D. This comes from the Vitamin D Council, headed by a man called Dr. Jacob Cannell, MD, and he's listing here the consequences of insufficient vitamin D. Autoimmune diseases, cancer, chronic pain, diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, mental illness, including things like Alzheimer's, are affected by lack of vitamin D. Multiple sclerosis, muscle weakness and coordination, obesity, osteoarthritis. Vitamin D is also vital to brain function. It's vital to bone health. And according to various mainstream medical surveys, having low vitamin D gives you a 35% higher chance of heart disease, a 14% greater chance of cancer, and 2/3 of the population, it is said, are not getting enough vitamin D. Just to give you an idea about multiple sclerosis, the highest figures in America are in the north, where there's less sun, and the lowest figures are in the south, where of course there's lots of sun. Why? Vitamin D. Now this brings me to cholesterol inversion. What we're told now is, like the sun, that cholesterol is bad for us. Got to lower your cholesterol. Ooh, if you don't. And now what they're doing is they're selling this extraordinary garbage, this extraordinary scam called statins to lower cholesterol. Lower cholesterol, good for health. Well, it absolutely is not. Why? Because cholesterol just happens to be absolutely crucial in converting sunlight into vitamin D. So when you have very low cholesterol, or cholesterol lower than it should be, from the body's point of view, not Stone Age medicine, then you're not converting sunlight into vitamin D, and that's a whole, well, just listed them, of potential health and mental health effects of that. So it's all kind of an inversion. Everything's an inversion. So sun's, oh, bad for you. No, it's not. Cholesterol, bad for you. No, it's not. Not in the way they say, anyway. And it's essential, cholesterol. Never mind bad for you. And then they say, but the sun gives you sun cancer. Well, you know one of the effects of sunlight through sunglasses, etc., not reaching the pineal gland in the quantity necessary, is it stops the production of substances in the skin which protect you from the sun. And there's another thing. Oh, no, the sun's dangerous. You got to put sunblock all over you. What does sunblock contain? Chemicals. And do you think that the explosion in the use of sunblock and sun chemicals in terms of protecting the body, the skin from the sun, as they're said, do you think the skin coming into contact with that deluge, often during the summer, of chemical cocktail will be good for its health? And what we're going to find, and it's inevitable as well, the sun coming up, is that a great deal of skin cancer is actually being caused by A, the chemicals in the sunblock, inversion, and the fact that the lack of information being decoded from the sun by the pineal gland is lowering the sun's, the skin's natural defenses to the negative side of too much sun. And so wherever you look, you see inversion. My great friend Mike Lambert at the Shen Clinic, just down the road from here on the Isle of Wight, who is a genius healer of decades of experience. He's been telling me for years and years and years and years and years, fat is not bad for you. It is absolutely necessary. At the same time, we've had the fear the sun version of fat, haven't we? Oh, you mustn't eat fat, it's bad for you, it'll give you heart trouble and all that. And as Mike has been pointing out all these years, fat doesn't make you fat. Carbohydrates make you fat. carbohydrates start to change blood sugar levels. So there's this explosion of diabetes. Why? Because carbohydrates turn to a sugar called glucose in the body. And then the body has to deal with that tidal wave of sugar. Oh, I'm just having a bit of bread, mate, and a bit of pasta. It's not sugar. Yes, it is when it gets in the body, darling. And so now, after all these years of Mike telling me this, now mainstream doctors and studies are coming out and saying, oh, we told you fat was bad for you, but actually it's not.